Γεια σας, είμαι ο Γιώργος Σαββίδης και ακούτε το podcast «Όλα είναι δρόμος». Μία εκπομπή για όλους εμάς τους ερασιτέχνες δρομής. Γεια χαρά φίλοι μου. Έχουμε μπει σε φουλ αγωνιστικούς ρυθμούς οι περισσότεροι και μετά το διάλειμμα του καλοκαιριού όλο και πιο πολλοί αγώνες διοργανώνονται, ενώ σιγά σιγά πλησιάζουμε και στην ημέρα του μαραθώνιου της Αθήνας, ενός αγώνα που αποτελεί μεγάλο στόχο των περισσότερων δρομέων. Προσωπικά και όπως έχω ήδη ανακοινώσει από το προηγούμενο επεισόδιο, τον αγώνα της Αθήνας θα τον τρέξω ως συνοδός της δρομέα με προβλήματα όρασης Ιωάννας Κωνσταντοπούλου, η οποία η Ιωάννα θα έρθει από το Λονδίνο για τον αγώνα αυτόν, θα τον τρέξουμε παρέα, οπότε όπως έγινε και πέρσι που έτρεξα ως συνοδός μαζί με το Στάθη με την Γκουέν, με πολλούς από εσάς θα συναντηθούμε και πάλι μέσα στον αγώνα, εκεί στο πεδίο της μάχης δηλαδή. Δεν σας κρύβω, ο σκοπός για τον οποίο τρέχω, που είναι να φέρω εις πέρα στην αποστολή μου με το να συνοδεύσω την Ιωάννα στον τερματισμό μέσα στο Καλιμάρμαρο, έδωσε άλλο νόημα σε μένα για τον αγώνα αυτόν, τον έκανε ακόμα πιο ενδιαφέρον και ανυπομονώ για να φτάσει η μέρα και η στιγμή που θα τρέξω παρέα με τη γλυκύτατη και μητέρα 2 παιδιών Ιωάννα. Για όσους δεν δω μέσα στον αγώνα, όπως έχω πει θα βρίσκομαι για 2 σερί μέρες στην έκθεση, Παρασκευή και Σάββατο, στο περίπτερο του εκδότη Sportbook, που από ό,τι μαθαίνω θα έχετε εκεί την ευκαιρία, πέραν εμού, να δείτε και να γνωρίσετε από κοντά άλλα μεγάλα αστέρια του δρομικού χώρου. Όσον αφορά εμένα, θα είμαι εκεί για την προώθηση του βιβλίου μου και θα χαρώ να έρθετε να γνωριστούμε, να αγοράσετε το βιβλίο μου και όσοι θέλετε να σας το υπογράψω κιόλας. Ραντεβού όμως πριν από την Αθήνα θα δώσουμε σε άλλους 2 αγώνες. Πρώτα, στις 22 Σεπτεμβρίου, στον γύρο της λίμνης Ιωαννίνων, όπου θα έχουμε ρεκόρ συμμετοχών. Την προηγούμενη ημέρα, το Σάββατο, 21 Σεπτεμβρίου, και για κάμποση ώρα, το οποίο θα το ανακοινώσουμε όταν έρθει η στιγμή, θα είμαι στο περίπτερο του Sportbook, που θα στηθεί εκεί στον χώρο παραλαβής των συμμετοχών, οπότε περάστε να γνωριστούμε και στα Ιωάννινα, όποιος θέλει να αγοράσει και το βιβλίο μου και να τα πούμε και από κοντά. Επόμενη στάση, πριν από την Αθήνα, έχουμε τον ημιμαραθώνιο των Σερών στις 6 Οκτωβρίου, εκεί όπου σας περιμένω όλους να τρέξουμε παρέα και να στηρίξουμε και τον τοπικό αγώνα σε μια καινούργια και πιο ενδιαφέρουσα διαδρομή, αρκετά πιο γρήγορη, οπότε κρατήστε και αυτή την ημερομηνία 6 Οκτωβρίου στις Σέρρες σε μια νέα διαδρομή, σε έναν αγώνα που διοργανώνουν με πολύ αγάπη και μεράκι οι μαραθωνοδρόμοι Σερών. Κλείνοντας, θα ήθελα για άλλη μια φορά να αναφερθώ σε έναν πολύ σημαντικό αγώνα που θα ήθελα να στηρίξετε όλοι οι δρομείς και ειδικά όσοι βρίσκεστε κοντά στον νομό Εύρου. Ο Δήμος Σουφλίου, σε συνεργασία με πολλούς από τους φορείς της τοπικής κοινωνίας, διοργανώνει τον πρώτο ορεινό αγώνα Δαδιά Trail Run, αγώνες Βονού Δαδιάς. Οι αγώνες θα διεξαχθούν την Κυριακή 29 Σεπτεμβρίου του 2024 και περιλαμβάνουν διαδρομές των 16 και 6 χιλιόμετρων ορεινού τρεξίματος και 10 χιλιόμετρων μεικτού εδάφους, άσφαλτο χωματόδρομο, με σημείο εκκίνησης και τερματισμό τον προαύλιο χώρο του Κέντρου Ενημέρωσης Δάσους Δαδιάς. Ο αγώνας έχει να κάνει με την πρόσφατη μεγάλη καταστροφή λόγω της πυρκαγιάς μεγάλου μέρους του δάσους της Δαδιάς, οπότε πέραν της χαράς του αγώνα και του τρεξίματος, σκοπός είναι να μπουν όλοι οι δρομείς μέσα στο δάσος και να το κάνουν να πρασινίσει ξανά με την παρουσία τους, να το δούνε να αναγεννιέται από τις τάχτες του. Βοηθήστε όσοι βρίσκεστε κοντά ή όσοι επιθυμείτε να ταξιδέψετε, διότι ο σκοπός του αγώνα είναι πολύ σημαντικός. Link εγγραφής θα σας έχω στα σχόλια αυτού εδώ του επεισοδίου, οπότε 29 Σεπτεμβρίου αγώνες βουνού Δαδιάς σε μία διαδρομή που όπως με μυστηρεύτηκαν οι δρομείς εκεί θα είναι συγκλονιστική και θα κόβει την ανάσα. Κάτι τελευταίο που έχει να κάνει με το βιβλίο μου. Σιγά σιγά τελειώνει η πρώτη έκδοση και με το καλό πλησιάζει η ημέρα που όλοι μαζί οι δρομείς θα κάνουμε τη δωρεά στο παιδοογκολογικό τμήμα του Ιπποκράτειου Νοσοκομείου Θεσσαλονίκης. Δεν σας κρύβω ότι ανυπομονώ πολύ για αυτή τη μέρα, λογικά θα είναι κάπου στα μέσα Οκτωβρίου. Όσοι θέλετε να στηρίξετε τη φιλανθρωπική αυτή δράση, μπορείτε με μόλις 14,90 να αγοράσετε το βιβλίο μου με τον ομώνυμο τίτλο «Όλα είναι δρόμος». Παίρνετε ένα βιβλίο και συγχρόνως κάνετε και το καλό. Στην παραγγελία μάλιστα, αν βάλετε τη λέξη «Όλα είναι δρόμος» με μικρούς λατινικούς χαρακτήρες, δεν θα χρεωθούν καθόλου μεταφορικά για αποστολές εντός Ελλάδας. Είναι μια προσφορά του εκδότη για το σκοπό της δωρεάς. Όποιος θέλει μπορεί να προμηθευτεί το βιβλίο από την ιστοσελίδα olainedromos.gr ή από το site του εκδότη sportbook.gr. Στα πλαίσια αυτού του σκοπού και μετά από την πρωτοβουλία κάποιων φίλων της εκπομπής να συνεισφέρουν ακόμα περισσότερο στη δωρεά για τα παιδιά που έχουν μεγάλη ανάγκη, δημιουργήθηκε στην ιστοσελίδα Give and Fund αντίστοιχο project, όπου όποιος θέλει μπορεί να συμβάλλει ακόμα περισσότερο στη δωρεά στο παιδοογκολογικό τμήμα του Ιπποκράτειου Νοσοκομείου Θεσσαλονίκης. Link για τη συγκεκριμένη δράση σας έχω στα σχόλια αυτού εδώ του επεισοδίου, οπότε όποιος θέλει μπορεί να συνεισφέρει έστω και €1. Είναι σημαντικό και θα πάει εξ ολοκλήρου στη δωρεά. Πάμε και στη σημερινή μας καλεσμένη, την απίστευτη δρομέα μεγάλων αποστάσεων που μας έρχεται από τη Φινλανδία, αλλά πλέον μένει μόνιμα στην Ελλάδα, Noora Honkala. Οπότε πάμε γρήγορα να δούμε τι ενδιαφέροντα πράγματα έχει να μας πει.
Όλα είναι δρόμος. Το podcast που μας ενώνει.
Σημερινή μου καλεσμένη είναι η δρομέας μεγάλων αποστάσεων, Noora Honkala. Η Noora γεννήθηκε στη Φινλανδία το 1992 και τα τελευταία χρόνια έχει αναρριχηθεί στην κορυφή της παγκόσμιας σκηνής των υπεραποστάσεων. Το 2014, σε ηλικία μόλις 22 ετών, έτρεξε στο δικό μας Σπάρταθλον σε χρόνο 35 ώρες και 34 λεπτά, κάνοντάς την νεότερη γυναίκα που έτρεξε ποτέ τον αγώνα αυτόν. Το 2023 τερμάτισε στο Σπάρταθλον δεύτερη με τον εκπληκτικό χρόνο 23 ώρες, 23 λεπτά και 3 δευτερόλεπτα. Είναι κάτοχος 3 εθνικών ρεκόρ στα 50 χιλιόμετρα με χρόνο 3 ώρες 23 λεπτά και 43 δευτερόλεπτα, στα 100 μίλια με χρόνο 14 ώρες 6 λεπτά και 56 δευτερόλεπτα και στις 24 ώρες με 246,496 χιλιόμετρα. Η Noora θεωρείται ελίτ αθλήτρια μεγάλων αποστάσεων με πληθώρα αγώνων και διακρίσεων, έχοντας τερματίσει στο Comrades Marrathon σε χρόνο 6 ώρες και 25 λεπτά, ενώ συμμετέχει σε παγκόσμια πρωταθλήματα 24 ωρών με καλύτερη επίδοση τα 246 χιλιόμετρα το 2022 στο Λουτράκι. Με την Noora Honkala θα έχουμε μια ενδιαφέρουσα συζήτηση, αφού θα αναφερθούμε σε στιγμές της αθλητικής της καριέρας, Θα μας μιλήσει για την Ελλάδα, τη διατροφή της, τα μελλοντικά της σχέδια, αλλά και για άλλα εξίσου ενδιαφέροντα θέματα τόσο γύρω από την προσωπική της ζωή, όσο και από το τρέξιμο γενικότερα. On this week's podcast interview is privileged to be joined by Noora Honkala. Noora is an incredible ultra runner, a world-class athlete, and she has an impressive ultra running career by holding a total of 3 national records in distances of 50 kilometers, 100 miles, and 24 hours. Noora, thank you so much for coming on. You are very welcomed, and I could say that I am thrilled to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, George. It's my pleasure to join your podcast. Thanks for inviting me today.
Here I would like to mention that we first met each other, if you remember, Noora, in a race in Ceres in the circuit run, where a common friend, incredible runner and coach Yannis Dimopoulos introduced to each other. And if you remember well, it was a difficult race due to the extreme hot weather conditions. Is that correct?
Yes, it was something we didn't expect. And it was really difficult race. But I would say it was a really good experience. You know how these things goes. Like you never know what will happen during the race. And we did our best. But yeah, when you want to break national or world records, you need the good weather as well.
Yes, but also, Noora, we had the opportunity to discuss further and also to arrange this podcast during a flight on the way back from South Africa, where we went to run the Comrades Marrathon.
Yes, it was a really nice surprise to meet you in the plane. And yeah, it was an amazing race. I think we will talk more about Comrades Marrathon today also.
Of course, we will get back to this race later on. I have some questions for you.
Yes.
So, Noora, for those who don't know, you are from Finland, but live permanently in Greece. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm living actually part-time here in Greece. We have a house here in Skutari in Laconia, but also we have a house in Finland. So I'm traveling quite often between the countries.
And Noora, why did you move out of Finland and when?
So when I met my husband, Sami Vaskola, we were traveling. We came to travel here in Greece, and actually, Sami fell in love in Greece, and he really likes the country and the weather. And he had this crazy idea that, Noora, should we have a house here in Greece? And I said it would be perfect for my running career to practice over here, because the weather is so much better all the year round than in Finland. You know how the winter can be in Nordic countries. So that was the idea, and it was, I think, 8 years ago we had this crazy idea to at least live part-time here in Greece.
So, Noora, let's go back to where all started. Can you please tell us when did you start running?
Actually, I used to play football, and I was 8 years old when I started to play football, and I think I was 15 years old when my coach, he said that, yes, Noora, I can see you like to run. Maybe you want to have some coaching also for running. And he introduced me for Seppo Leinonen. You know who is Seppo Leinonen, the ultimate guru from Finland. He has done so many Spártathlons, and he's really inspiring person. So actually, Seppo started to coach me for marathon. And I ran my first half marathon when I was 16. And then I wanted to try the full marathon, and I was 17 when I did my first marathon, and I was so excited about running, and it was a hobby for me, and also a kind of supporting my football career. But it turned out that it's really difficult to have the speed and everything at the same time running marathons. So when I was 20 years old, I decided that I should focus more on running.
And Noora, how did endurance racing come into your life? What made you ultra runner?
So I think I was 20 years old when I first ran a 6 hour race. It was Seppo's birthday party, and we ran 6 hours all together. And he had this crazy idea that, Noora, you should also try the 24-hour running. And of course, I thought this is something super crazy. Maybe I cannot do it. But Seppo said that you have a correct mindset and you are really patient, and that maybe if we train correctly, you are able to do the 24-hour run. So next year I ran my first 24-hour run, the race in Finland. It was an amazing experience, but also I have to be honest, it was kind of brutal. I think, I was 21 years old and like a newbie in running scene. So I didn't expect anything for the first race, but it turned out that it went well. But my legs, everything was so damaged after. Then they took me with the wheelchair off from the track after the race. I finished the race, but it was a really, really brutal experience for me as a young female.
Yeah, but it's amazing story. Noora, you were so young, 20 years old, you ran your first 6 hours race, and 21, 24 hours, very young.
Yes, very young, but I have to say, I think it's, even when you're young, it's all about your mindset. You have to be really patient, and you have to respect your body and your mind. If you are in rush, it won't happen. But if you want to see it through and go through something totally different, it's I think then you have the right mindset for ultra running.
Noora, let's go to a race I know marked your career as an ultra runner, and actually in a few days you will run this prestigious race again. I'm talking about Spártαθλον, of course. How many times have you run Spártαθλον, and do you remember when was the first time?
Yes, so first time was exactly 10 years ago, so 2014. And I was 22 years old. So I think I'm still the youngest female who has ever finished the race. So it was something amazing. So it's my 10 years anniversary with Spártαθλον this year.
So I wish you to celebrate this in the best way.
I will enjoy the race for sure.
Noora, there is a huge improvement in your performance running the Spártαθλον, because what I can see is that the first time you ran the race in 2014, you did 35 hours and 34 minutes. And after 10 years, you improved this time by almost 9 hours.
No,
what's behind this?
It's 12 hours, because I did 20.
Yes,
yes, 23.
You are right.
Yeah.
You are right, 12 hours. Yes, 23 hours you did last year, so it's 12 hours. Yes, you are right. Wrong calculations. And so, Noora, what's behind this huge improvement? I mean, too many hours of training.
I would say it's the discipline and the constant focus on the to get better, not to have the most of the kilometers. How I can improve myself? That's the question I'm asking myself almost every day. What would make me a better athlete? If you can answer that question, I think you are on the right way. But yeah, it's a huge improvement for those years. Of course, we have to remember I was really young 10 years ago. I consider myself still a young person. And I'm so happy to be on this level these days, and I'm really grateful because, it's not that easy thing to run 10 years and improve yourself every year. So I'm really grateful.
Since we mentioned last year's race, just to say to our listeners that last year in 2023, you were second on this race, but what makes it incredible is that all first three women you smashed the race record, which was kept from 2017.
Yes, it was something amazing. And also, I couldn't imagine 10 years ago that some year, not only to be second lady, but fourth overall. I think it was amazing. My dear friends, Fotis and Simen, and also Kamil, they were the only persons in front of me. So it was amazing. We all did so well. And also I'm really proud of Satu, my countrymate. She did a huge race also last year. And it was an amazing experience for all of us.
And Noora, what do you love more on this race and makes you run it so many times?
I think actually last year I was thinking this question, not why I'm running, but I'm here again. It's this special feeling. It's a lovely race. Of course, it's brutal, but you are really going through the country from Athens to Sparta. It's really something special. Like I said before, I used to do the 24-hour races on the track, but Spártathlon, the course, maybe some of the first 80 kilometers, it's not so beautiful. But when you get into the race, I mean, after 100 kilometers, it's amazing. It's just a feeling when you are running through the course. It has these different stages. Like when you reach the mountain, you know that you have a long, long way. But I always get this hint that, yes, Noora, you will go all the way. You will go all the way. You have reached the mountain. Now you're almost safe, but now you have to push. There is so many beautiful moments during Spártathlon.
Όλα είναι δρόμος.gr, το site που τρέχει μαζί σας.
And Noora, let's move to another race I know you love a lot. It's the Comrades Marrathon. And how many times have you run the Comrades Marrathon?
This year was my second time. Third time. Sorry, third time. But second up run. So I have done once the down run and twice up run. And it's totally different world in South Africa. Usually we consider that there is, we know, many fast runners in Africa, and that's true. But what Comrades is, it's a huge celebration, not only for the runners, but also for all the people who live over there, who live close by. It's a festival, like a celebration. It's something huge. I think it's bigger than one runner. It's for every runners and all the people over there. Yeah, that's Comrades.
I totally agree with you, Noora, because I lived this experience this year with you as well. And it's a race that the whole country celebrates. for this race? You prefer the down run or the up run?
I can say I have the best placement for the down run, but last year the 8th place, it was a really great race for me. And this year the up run, it was a bit suffering. Many mistakes I have to learn about, but I would say I prefer the up run. And but it's, I don't know, after every Comrades, I'm thinking like, is it even possible to win this race? Because there is so many amazing runners. You know how competitive the field can be over there. But I think it's a huge challenge. And like I said, the atmosphere is amazing. So I'm really thinking and considering that maybe in the future I will focus on the shorter races as well and give my best shot over there.
And Noora, will you also go next year to run this race?
Yes, definitely. And also I'm considering of running the 2 Oceans Marathon, so even shorter distance.
Noora, I know that some years ago you had a very serious surgery. Do you want to tell us some things about this?
Yes, and actually I Googled the right terms to explain what I really had, because it's the terminology, it's a little bit difficult. So what I have the spinal disc herniation. So first time I got this was, I think it was 2018. And I didn't recover without the surgery. So we took the risk and we made the surgery in Finland. And I was really lucky that I had the best doctors in the country, and it was the best solution for me. Absolutely, I didn't regret that. And what happened after the surgery was that I still wanted to run in the 100-kilometer World Championships in Croatia. But if I remember correctly, we had like 1.5 months from the surgery to the race. And the doctor said that for the first month, I cannot run. I can do swimming, cycling, walking, but no running, because there is the pressure for the spine. So I was training really hard without running. And for the 2 weeks before the race, I started to run again. So I did something, I can call it a miracle, because I was in the best shape in my life back then, after the huge, not huge operation, but it was a big thing for me and for my career. So I placed 8th place in the World Championships. I did the new national record. And I was so happy, because what comes to the nerve pain, if someone is having the same problems, they know what is nerve pain. When the disc is touching the nerve, it's something you cannot imagine. It's horrible pain. You cannot cure it. You cannot take any medicines. They won't help. At least they didn't help me. So I was suffering a lot. So this was a huge reward for me that I did so amazing in the World Championships, just 1.5 months after the surgery.
Amazing, Noora. 1.5 months after the surgery, and you start running just 2 weeks before the race. Amazing.
Yes. Exactly. But I have to say I had the professionals, like my surgery. He said that, Noora, you will be okay. I can see that you don't have any problems. We eliminated the problem. You don't have anything extra over there going on. So you will be fine. Just trust the process. So actually, it was really easy for me after that. I knew that he won't lie to me. They are really honest. So I knew what to do after that.
So Noora, let me ask you something else now. How is your daily routine? Do you train every day?
Actually, today is my day off. I don't train every day, and I think it's good for a professional athlete to actually have the day off to do whatever you have to do. So my daily routine is normally for the 6 days of the week. I don't do every day 2 trainings. Sometimes I do only 1 training. And now when it's really hot, I prefer to do my quality trainings on the night when it's a little bit cooler. So, but if I do train twice a day, usually in the morning I do a short run, like a half an hour, or I do cycling training with my trainer indoors, I mean. So it's really controlled. So I might even do 2 hours or 1.5 hour tempos, and I really believe that the cycling helps me to improve my muscles and my stamina, and it's something different than running, but for me it turned out that it's really supportive for my running. And in the evening I usually run 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever my husband and my coach Sami has planned for me. It's always exciting new things.
Noora, you mentioned cycling, also swimming. In relation to your training, do you think the diversity made you a better runner?
Absolutely. There is no question out of that. Absolutely. I would encourage every ultra runner to try many kinds of sports. But first, like I said before, you have to ask yourself, how I can become better athlete. And then you will find out the answer. Like for me, before my back surgery, I was lacking of my strength of my core muscles. So what we did, we added some swimming, because when you are swimming open waters, you have to really control your body. It's something different and challenging. It was really challenging for me. And also, I really like to do the vinyasa yoga. For me, it's also like a strength training, because you have to hold your positions, and it's kind of low, but you have to do it really effortless way. So I like to challenge myself, and I think it's the answer how to become better, to always challenge yourself.
And Noora, how many kilometers you usually run each week?
Not so much. I know many runners, they run 100 miles per week, but let's say my easy week is somewhere 60 kilometers. And from there up to 120 kilometers per week. Usually I don't go above that, especially when I'm here in Greece, because the terrain is more difficult. We are living here in Mani, and it's there is nothing but the hills over here. It's really hard to find a flat course. So it's not all about the kilometers. I think I like to think about the hours I'm training in the week. And it's about 15 hours.
Ακούτε το podcast «Όλα είναι δρόμος» με τον Γιώργο Σαββίδη. Τρέχουμε παρέα.
Noora, do you follow a specific nutrition plan, and what do you usually eat on a daily basis?
My favorite question. I don't have any specific diet. I don't believe in diets. Of course, if there is a need, I mean, if you have some allergies or some intolerance. Of course, you have to follow the diet; it's for your health. But for healthy people like me, I like to enjoy the food. I don't eat garbage food, but I really love the homemade food. And and what is nice here in Greece, I think the food is excellent. Like the basic food with meat and potatoes and the vegetables, they are so pure, so tasty, and I think that's also one of the biggest reasons I'm enjoying my time over here. The food is excellent.
Noora, do you listen to music when you run?
Sometimes, yes. But when I'm going to the race, you cannot listen to music like Spártαθlon. I feel when I'm doing my running trainings, I don't need the music because it's almost like I'm imagining myself in the race, if you know what I mean. So in the race, there won't be any music, so I don't need it when I'm training. But when I do, as example, my cycling trainings indoor, I really like to listen to music. It really helps me to boost myself, and yeah, I like music a lot.
And which is your favorite place to run?
Oh, that's really difficult. Okay, if I can choose two places.
You can.
Okay, so here in Greece, my ultimate favorite is actually next to our house. I absolutely love the road what goes from Skutari to Kotronas. It's a really scenic asphalt road. There is not so many cars, which is really good for me. And I could stay there forever. I really like the road. I don't know. It's the atmosphere, the history, whatever. I feel like I feel so relaxed over there. And in Finland, when I started to run more the longer distances, I used to run from my house to my grandparents. It was 25 kilometers. And it was, I think it still is my favorite. I really love to meet my grandparents, but of course, the road, it's a countryside road. You can see the lake, the nature. It's so beautiful. And this was my tradition also in Finland. After the harsh winter, as soon as the spring came, this was the first thing I did. I ran to my grandparents' place every spring.
And do you ever get injured?
Yeah, it's something I'm trying to avoid. But of course, there's always something, you can feel in your body. This is not so nice. You have some pain somewhere, but nothing serious. But as soon as I get those feelings, I usually I go to massage. I do yoga more. I'm trying to find out what is wrong. Usually I'm not late. When you're late, you have already the injury. But when you're early, you can improve and avoid them to become real injuries.
First 24 hours run, you did 173 kilometers. Next one, 183 kilometers. Then 194 kilometers. Then 208 kilometers. And in 2022 in Loutraki in Greece, you did 246 kilometers, which is a national record. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And it was the year I didn't run Spártαθlon. And actually I was training for Spártαθlon, but there was the reason I didn't run. But I knew that I had the condition to run the big ultra, let's say like that. So I decided to try the race in Loutraki. And it was a really great experience because Before that, my latest national record, it was 235 kilometers. And it was a really old record for me, so I actually knew that I can do better. So I was happy to try my best. I had many difficulties during the race with my stomach, but you know, even you have the difficulties, if you have the mindset that everything will be fine and you want to do it, it doesn't matter. You will solve the problems. That's I think the best thing I like about ultra running. If you have the right mindset, you will conquer the race. You will solve the problems what comes for you, because there will be problems. Trust me. In ultras, there is always some problems. So yeah, it was a really nice race for me.
And you have also participated in several 24 hours World Championships. How is non-stop running for 24 hours? Did you ever have hard times during these races?
Oh, many times. Many times I couldn't finish. I mean, I couldn't run to the end. You know, those happens. Example, last year in Taiwan, Taipei, after Spártαθλον, I decided to give my best, and I really did. But like after 100 miles, I was just empty. There was nothing to give anymore. And I reached the limit. And I think those are good experiences for the athletes to actually reach the limit and know when it's better to pull out from the race, I mean. And you are always learning. But when you are going for the World Championships, of course, you want to give your best shot. And in Taiwan, that didn't turn so well for me, but I was happy that I gave a try in there.
And during these races, Noora, mentally, do you get tired or thinking to quit?
Yeah, of course, those feelings, they come and go. But I would say, for my experience, that sometimes you have to feel the difference, like what is like you're just not feeling well. You want to quit, you're tired. But when you take example energy, maybe you slow down a bit and you will find it again. But these times when you are getting constantly more tired and you will start to feel wrongly, really fatigued, you have to always to take care of yourself, not to push too much, because in the end of the day, it's all about your health. There will be new races, but you have only one health, and you have to take care of it. So it's a really difficult line to make. What is the right time to pull out? But the mind is really tricky. Sometimes you can play with that, but sometimes it's better to stop. I would say like this.
And then Noora, who supports you during these races?
Usually Sami is always there, my husband and my coach. Also, my father has been there for me in my every Spártαθλον in my life. So he's always playing the key role, especially during Spártαθλons. And what I really like here in Greece, I have really good friends, like you mentioned in the beginning, John Dimopoulos and Maria Stella Xenaki, my really good friends. They were actually supporting me in Loutraki, and I really appreciate it to have those kind of friends who are truly supporting you. So those are my crews in my races.
And Noora, which are the main characteristics an ultra runner should have? Is the discipline, the consistency, the hard work, something else, or a combination?
I can speak for myself. For me, I think what really makes me a good ultra runner is the calmness. Like, whenever I go to the race, I'm really calm. I know many things can happen, but I accept that. And I'm not thinking so much further. And I think you have to have a good nerves and know how to relax. And also, of course, you have to be a really hard worker. There is no way to come around that. You have to work hard. You have to get used to the pain, especially during the races. There will be pain, and you have to take it. But yeah, I think, and also what I would consider a good character is the humble person can do great things in ultra running. If you are too much full of yourself, it might turn against you. I would say like this.
Noora, you have just mentioned pain. How do you deal with pain during a race?
The pain. There is many kind of pain, but if it's a long race over 24 hours like Spártαθlon, there will be a muscle pain, a lot of pain. But if you can tolerate it, it's fine. If there is something serious, you shouldn't tolerate the pain. But never ignore the pain. There is always a reason for the pain, I would say.
Όλα είναι δρόμος. Το podcast που μας ενώνει.
And Noora, what is your personal biggest challenge while running long distances? What is that you have to do to get better at or to learn better, to do more?
I'm always searching the weaknesses, like what I should improve. And sometimes it's really difficult to do it by yourself. So I would say that it's really important to have a coach who can see your latest result, your earlier results, and who can always analyze you, and according to those findings, he can make the plan for you. This is what we are doing with Sami all of the time.
And what's the best advice anybody has ever given you?
This is a really difficult question. Really difficult question. It's not the advice, it's a mindset. What always make me happy during my race, and I hope this will give a joy for someone else. It was my first 24-hour race, and like I told, it was really brutal. My father was there all of the time during the race. And when I reached the 12 hours mark, he told me, Noora, now you are going home. It's a half away. And this is something special because that really hit me. It really felt like, now I'm turning around and now I'm running home. So I'm using this trick still on these days. When I reach the halfway mark, I'm always thinking after that I'm going home. That's my small secret.
And Noora, during these races, let's say 24 hours races, do you use gels during a long distance race or you prefer eating food?
When I'm running faster, like in the beginning in the Spártαθlon, I'm using some gels, some energy candies, because the heart rate is higher. But when the running is getting slower, it's easier to consume real food like rice and some fruits, bananas, and so then I'm moving more to the real food. But what is also really important to stay hydrated and also have the carbohydrates from your drinks. So it's like a constant intake for the energy, the electrolytes, and also the liquids. That's the combination.
And Noora, as a runner, which would you consider as the major weakness and strength at the same time?
For me, my major weakness and strength, you mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Like I said, I think it's my mind. I'm humble, but when I know that I have the chance, I will take it. I won't give up easily. But yeah, I would say sometimes I'm too kind, not only for myself, but I have to tell you that when I was getting closer to 30 years old, actually I started to do shorter races because I really needed to find a way to be more competitive in the races. You know, in ultras, when you're running like over 200 kilometers, it's really hard to be like when it's competition. You are running against yourself. You are not maybe thinking the others, but you really need that when you are in the World Championships or in Comrades or even in Spártαθlon these days when the level is so high. So I started to do the shorter distances so I can learn how to actually be in the running race, if you can understand what I'm saying. So sometimes I really felt like I'm too kind for the other competitors, like in the races. I had to get more tough in certain way. I really feel that.
And Noora, what is one thing you have learned about yourself through ultra running?
It's a long way. It's a long road. That's what I have learned. It's a never-ending process. Even when many interviews, they ask me, like, what is my biggest goal I want to achieve? And I'm always saying that I want to run when I'm old. I want to run all the way through my life, no matter what level, but running is something really special. And I will be so happy if I'm able to continue like through my life running.
And why do you run 100 kilometers instead of 40?
I like them both. Actually, I really like marathon running. Especially I like Athens Marathon. So maybe for my I'm better in those distances. That's why I'm going to the World Championships and for the 100 kilometers, not focusing on marathon running. I don't think I would say that I should change all my trainings if I wanna compete in the good level in marathon running, I would say.
And Noora, what motivates you to keep running?
It's a lifestyle, I would say. It's something I wouldn't give up easily. Like I really feel like running is something I do only for myself, not for the other people. It's also time to reset your mind. It's also time to do some dreaming, like and it's a really nice way to use your body and your mind. It's not I'm not the first runner who is saying that you usually solve all your problems during your runs. I actually think it's correct. I'm doing that every day.
Noora, in the beginning of this interview, you said that today is your day off. Do you have any hobbies, and how do you spend your free time?
I have 3 dogs, so I really like to spend the day with them when I have day off. But usually I also run all the errands when I have the day off, and I clean the house. We have a big house and 3 dogs, so there is a lot of cleaning. But my hobbies, I really like to read. I really like the historical movies. I also, I think reading, relaxing, and sometimes we go to the mountains with our dogs. We do many things when it's the day off.
And Noora, have you ever entered a race and said, I think I might just take it easy?
Yeah, many times. But when you get the number on your chest, it's really hard to actually take it easy. So, but what I'm actually doing in real life, especially here in Greece, because we have so many amazing races, like almost every weekend there is some race. So I'm using them as training. It might be my week's one of the hard trainings to run. Example now, we had this race in Croques, village of Croques. It was 18 kilometers. It was a really good practice for me, and I was pushing my limits. And so when you're alone, maybe you won't give so much, but when there is the other runners and the atmosphere, I would say you give more. So those days, maybe I'm not so prepared for the racing to be my best level, but I go with the flow and I try to give my best, and it's best possible way to train for the bigger races, I would say.
So Noora, what's next for you?
Spártαθlon, that's the next one.
And before we close this episode, do you want to say something last to all Greek runners who listen to this podcast?
Many things, but I would say as a Finnish runner that enjoy the races. I think all over the Greece there's so many amazing races, many distances. You should really enjoy those and be proud that there's so many organizers who are making those things possible. That's my message.
Noora, thanks so much for coming on to talk to me today. It was a really fantastic interview. I wish you the best of luck in Spártαθλον, and thank you so much.
Thank you, George. It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you.
Κάντε δικά σας τα μοναδική σχεδίασης all over print δρομικά μπλουζάκια του podcast. Μεγαλώνουμε ακόμα περισσότερο την παρέα μας και δίνουμε χρώμα στις προπονήσεις και τους αγώνες μας. Παραγγείλτε τα μέσα από την ιστοσελίδα olainedromos.gr.
olainedromos.gr, το site που τρέχει μαζί σας.
Άλλο ένα podcast «Όλα είναι δρόμος» έφτασε στο τέλος του. Περιμένω τις δικές σας προτάσεις και ιδέες για επόμενα θέματα που θα θέλατε να συζητήσουμε. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ που με ακούσατε. Κάντε follow για να λάβετε ειδοποίηση για το επόμενο επεισόδιο. Μέχρι την επόμενη φορά, να είστε όλοι καλά, υγιείς, να ευχαριστιέσετε τις προπονήσεις και τους αγώνες σας και να απολαμβάνετε την κάθε σας στιγμή. Ακολουθήστε με στο Spotify, στο Apple Podcasts, στο Google Podcasts ή όπου αλλού ακούτε podcasts.